Right. So we're back for another deep dive. And this time around, we're going to be tackling a topic that a lot of you have been requesting. And yeah, it's building wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be looking at a source called 11 Executive Advice for this one.
Okay.
And this author, he really argues that, a lot of Americans struggle financially despite, living in such a wealthy nation.
Right.
And, he kind of points the finger at overspending.
Yeah.
Using too much credit
Mm-hmm.
and making some not so great investment choices.
Right.
But what really caught my eye was his claim that there's kind of like a different path to wealth.
Oh.
One that goes beyond just relying on the stock market or government plans.
Yeah.
Or, even Wall Street advisors for that matter.
Yeah, I think the author's advocating for, something a little bit more unconventional.
Yeah.
And it's definitely something that I think can pique people's interest because we hear a lot of the same advice, over and over again.
Right. And I'm sure some of you listening are probably thinking like, okay, is this going to be some kind of sales pitch?
Right.
Let me assure you right off the bat, it's not.
Yeah.
We're not here to sell you anything. We just want to really look at this author's reasoning.
Yeah.
See what we can learn from it and
uncover any biases.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Uncover any biases.
Yeah.
So, let's start with his critique of some of the more conventional financial advice out there.
Okay.
He really seems to think that, a lot of people fall into these common traps that just hold them back from building wealth.
Yeah, she really hones in on overspending.
Right.
And I think that can be anything from, impulse purchases.
Totally.
Lifestyle creep.
Yeah, keeping up with the Joneses.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in that cycle.
It is.
I remember when I first started, making a decent salary, I felt this pressure to like upgrade everything.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
My apartment, my car, my clothes.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
It took me a while to realize that it's not about the stuff.
Exactly.
True wealth is about having that financial security and freedom.
It's about having options and choices.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Options and choices.
And I think that's where the author's next point comes in with, using too much credit.
Right.
All that high interest debt, especially from credit cards, can really hold you back.
It's like you're trying to run a marathon with like a weight chain to your ankle or something.
Exactly. And it, it eats away at your income.
Right.
It makes it so much harder to save and invest for the future.
Yeah. So you're not really making any progress.
Yeah, it's a tough cycle to break.
Totally. And then finally, the author, he really kind of takes aim at the stock market, which, a lot of people see as like the holy grail of wealth building.
Right.
He seems to be suggesting that putting all your eggs in one basket, like that might not be the best approach for everyone.
Yeah, and I think what he's really getting at there is, risk.
Mm-hmm.
The stock market has the potential for high returns, but it's also very volatile.
For sure.
And if you have a low risk tolerance, or maybe you're close to retirement and you don't have as much time to recover from any losses,
Right.
then that volatility might not be the best fit for your goals.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So after he kind of dismantles these common strategies, he presents his idea of like a better path to wealth.
Okay.
And this is where he brings up his secret weapon,
Okay.
which is cash value life insurance.
Okay.
And, he argues that it's this powerful, often misunderstood tool
Right.
that can help you build a really solid financial foundation.
Mm-hmm.
I got to admit, when I first read that, I was like, wait a minute.
I can understand that.
I always thought of life insurance as just that.
Yeah. It's
Protection for your family
Right.
in case something happens to you.
It's a safety net.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. But he's saying it can be more than that.
It can be, and that's where the cash value component comes in.
Okay, so how does that actually work?
So basically, it's like a hybrid product. Part of your premium goes towards the death benefit.
So that's the traditional life insurance part.
Exactly. But another portion of it is invested, and it grows over time.
Okay.
And the growth is tax deferred.
Oh, that's interesting.
So you don't have to pay taxes on the gains until you withdraw the money.
Right.
Which lets your money potentially grow faster.
I see. So it's kind of like a savings or investment account,
In a way, yeah.
but with the added benefit of the life insurance protection.
Exactly.
Interesting. And the author claims that this is something that wealthy people, banks, even corporations have been using for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
What do they see in it that maybe the average person doesn't?
Well, I think he's arguing that they understand the value of slow and steady growth.
Okay.
It's not about getting rich quick. It's about building that solid foundation that can withstand, the ups and downs of the market.
Right, because the market can be really unpredictable.
Exactly. And historically, cash value life insurance has been much more stable.
Okay, and what about the flexibility and control that he talks about?
Yeah, so with cash value life insurance, you can actually access your money through loans or withdrawals.
Okay.
So it can give you some leverage if you have an emergency or even if you see an investment opportunity.
So it's not like your money is completely locked away.
Exactly.
But wouldn't you say that the returns are probably lower compared to something like stocks?
That's a valid point, and I think it's important to remember that, cash value life insurance isn't the right fit for everyone.
Right.
It really depends on your individual circumstances,
Mm-hmm.
your risk tolerance, your financial goals.
Right, if you're younger and you have more time to invest, you might want to be a little more aggressive.
Exactly, but someone who's closer to retirement might want that stability and the tax advantages that cash value life insurance can offer.
So it's really about understanding those trade-offs
Mhm.
and choosing what aligns best with your situation.
Exactly.
Seems like the author's core message is really to encourage us to think outside the box and, consider all of our options.
Yeah, he wants us to question conventional wisdom and, really take control of our own finances.
It's kind of like he's saying, don't be afraid to do your research and find what works best for you.
Exactly.
It's not a magic bullet,
Right.
but it's about being proactive and informed when it comes to making financial decisions.
Absolutely. And as you continue on your own journey, here's a question to think about.
Okay.
If you could completely rethink your approach to finances, knowing what you know now, what's one thing you would do differently?
That's a great question.
It's something to really ponder as you navigate the world of personal finance.
Absolutely. And that's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Okay.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.